All right, everybody, welcome to the During Business Hours podcast. Finally got some lights set up in here, so a little brighter. Trying to get everything more custom, used to production value going up, as we were saying in the last video. I'm still editing the video from yesterday. Had a couple of cuts, little things.
Little cleanup here, little cleanup there.
Yeah, how you feeling today?
Feel great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How was Newworld last night?
Oh, you mean fancy RuneScape? It's fantastic.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you have a whole mess of skills. They level up one by one. The cool thing is when you hit thresholds, you get like a buff, and it like hunting 25 small game is now marked on your compass. So instead of combing through grass to find a fucking tiny ass rabbit to get the leather you need, it just boop, he's right there. Just cool. Cool game.
How would you compare it to like Minecraft and the drive behind that people have?
People are going hard on that game. It's day one. People are level 40 out of, I think it goes up to 100 something, and they're having worldwide turf war skirmishes to control the map.
Is it one map? Like one?
There's 12 servers, and they've split those up into smaller servers for now, just to not, have connection issues and everything of about 2,000 people. And at some point, they'll put them all together, and there'll be actual large-scale battles. But currently, every map has 2,000-ish people on it in 3 factions and 12 to 14 territories.
So 2,000 people per, and there's 12 servers.
There's 12,
So
I guess it more accurate would be like
24,000 people.
They added 28 servers per zone as well. Like there's 12 main
Okay.
servers, and of that they have 28 things, and they have it in the notes. They're like, this belongs to the block 2. These may all combined. These may all explode. We don't know right now. So they're as the server, as they're not having 300,000 people, clawing at the gates, they're gonna start opening that up.
My problem with New World is the monopoly that Amazon's having on not only Twitch, because they bought Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have the monopoly on sales and deliveries. Then they got Twitch Prime, Prime Now,
Prime Gaming,
Prime
yeah.
Business, Prime Streaming, and then they have Twitch Streaming. They have Prime Streaming, which is a different thing. Teach people about the products you're buying. Even these newer lights, they had somebody like, "Oh, let me show you how to use it. Do you want a first-hand demonstration?" No, I don't. It's very simple, plug and play.
Plug in, put on batteries, angle.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to do the batteries. You can do the wiring, etc. The thing that we had happen yesterday was the kid trying to sell items that he didn't have in store. Did you see that?
It wasn't even that he was trying to sell items he doesn't have in store. He lives 10 minutes away. He could run and grab them for someone, But it was he doesn't even have them at all?
Doesn't even have them.
He was making it seem like he had them over at his house or something.
No, I got a text message last night. He's like, "Hey, I had already sold that one. I was bullshitting the guy. I don't have it. You want to find it on Facebook Marketplace, mark it up, and sell it to him?" No, you told this customer you. So let me give you some context. We sell used and new electronics in store. We have some consignment, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our employees had a couple of graphics cards that were sealed, but we didn't know that one of the boxes was empty. So he goes and he sells it to a customer. Now the customer is expecting to come in this morning and pay the remainder for this second graphics card. Turns out that the kid had it at home. Told the customer yesterday, I put it in my PC, yada yada, but he had sold it the day before for less money. Now he's trying to scramble this morning to get somebody on Facebook to sell him another. Hustle is real. I don't really like that deception, because you can tell the customer, "Hey, I have one that I sold yesterday. I can ask him if, But I don't like now we got to scramble to make $20 and spend 3 or 4 hours of our time. He's in that wave where everything is money to him. And I was there once. It's nowadays my money or my time is worth more.
Mm.
So I value my time a bit more, especially because I don't want to be running around at 9 p.m. to grab a graphics card. I got 2 kids.
No.
Like
Scrambling, making an urgent emergency out of something that should have been, oh, well, I don't have those. I could find them. Or just, oh, I don't have those.
Exactly. It's it was quite interesting. I find that I say that a lot. Quite interesting.
That's kind of your, someone's messed up something, or
It's like I'm pondering
yeah.
a response that will hurt your soul.
I know
It's
you've messed
quite
up, but I'm not sure how hard I
interesting.
want to go at you for it.
No, I was just thinking about it last night. I'm like, man, this kid's really on that hustle. He's 17, so I get it. But when I was 22 starting this business, that's more the Rob Peter to pay Paul that we've talked about before, where you would get something done, tell someone else about it. They want the same thing done, but now you don't have the product to provide it, and it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. And then you got to go get it and set it up again and have the same results, but you're spending twice the energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun. I just finished the cut for the Best Buy story and everything we went through, and then editing the one that has the results from that. But I had another incident with Amazon, because I've been battling Amazon for a while. The problem I have now is something that happened back in March. You want to talk about it?
The watches
Yep.
still always going on. Because you had purchased the watches because you were working on an app that needed the GPS stuff. You needed 4 different watches. You had 2 different models, 2 different sizes, just to test the compatibility and
Function and compatibility.
function and compatibility. Watches all worked fine, cool. They're Apple watches, brand new out of box. That's to be expected. But they did not support any of the functionality for the app at all. So you sent them back. You didn't open 2 of them?
Yeah, 2 of them were sealed. And so they were all series. I think it was 2 Series 6, 2 Series 5.
You did 2 6s and 2 5s because that's kind
So we
of
opened one of each.
That's the iOS, cutoff right now.
Yeah. So we opened one of each. Side loaded everything. Fine. GPS didn't work. That was the whole function of it. Was the tracking.
It didn't import into the app at all.
So now I sent them back. They sent me in 2 shipments. We'll call it shipment A and shipment B. Well, when they opened the return, they only opened a return for shipment A and shipment B, but they only told me to ship it in A. So all 4 units, just send it. We'll save on shipping. Great.
Yeah, Amazon has encouraged forever. Just throw everything in a box, throw all your packing slips in, no problem.
And I was fine with that, and I had the chat logs to prove it. Well, I sent it back. A month goes by, no refund. $1,500, no refund. Figured a restocking fee, whatever. After a month and a half, they finally give me a notice. Hey, there's a problem on your account. Contact us. I don't even think it had that at the time. It was more like, hey, just give us an email. There was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I messaged them, and they're like, yeah, we have no record of this return, even though it shows pending return. So they dig into it more. A week goes by. I'm requesting info. A couple of weeks go by. After 2 or 3 weeks, so we're on week 8 now. This is May. No refund is going to be given. Turns out that we have destroyed the contents because you didn't send us the right items back. What the fuck do you mean I didn't send the right items back?
What do you mean that you just destroyed them?
Yeah, that was not even the biggest issue. They should have record of destroying anything. Everything should be photographed, scanned, all that in their end. Now I asked for all that information, still nothing. The problem was I'm like battling Amazon's chatbot to get somebody to call me about this. Just contact me. Nope. It's finalized. You're not getting a refund. We only used 2. Didn't open the other 2. Sent it back in a timely manner. Now, if one of the watches, the Series 5, was in the 6 box or the 6 was in the Series 5 box, I'm sorry, send it back to me. I'll put them in the right boxes. Whatever the issue was, I'll correct it and send it back to you.
Yeah, it can be rectified.
So it's shit. It would have been so much simpler. But they're saying that the contents aren't correct. So why not just send it back to me anyway? They didn't. So then I'm like, okay, great. I'll handle it with my bank. Charged it back. Bank gave me a temporary credit. It's now 3 months later, 4 months later.
Mm-hmm.
And the bank says you've been denied. Okay, great. Why? Well, we didn't have any evidence to support your claim. All the chat logs, all the images, all the proof, all the tracking, and they say Visa sided with Amazon. So the next step for $1,500 is just to sue them. The problem is you don't sue them just for $1,500. You sue them for your time. Every hour is $70. I'm in it like 15 hours plus, shipping plus time plus calling the bank, having the bank call, and the fees for having the bank credit and put back. The whole nine is going to be like $5 or $6 grand on Amazon's end. And I don't care if they cancel my account because everything is more convenience, but you can buy all that shit everywhere else.
Yeah.
My kids will be a little upset that they can't watch Bubble Guppies on the, hey, open the TV with the Firebox or whatever. That's about the only thing we have of Amazon's now. I'm just so fed up with all the bullshit with Amazon, especially requesting my data, and that can take 6 to 8 weeks. Still nothing. So my bank kept giving me excuses. I had submitted all the facts and the sheets and the chat logs, everything that shows that they admitted 4 watches, they admitted not giving the refund, that they destroyed the items. And then my bank tells me, oh, it's distorted when we couldn't submit it. I'm like, you couldn't have called me or told me. The person who verified the receipt of it said it was fine. Nothing? Oh, yeah, from this, we're not going to be involved. Okay. Somebody's got a big thumb over the banks.
Yeah.
Amazon's got some power, but, courts are a little more powerful. I think Amazon will probably settle. I'll say $5 grand. Amazon should settle for $5 grand. If you were Amazon, you made $1 billion, and somebody fucked up. The fact is somebody stole those watches, in my opinion. I won't say fact, sorry. What it looks like is somebody probably in the warehouse stole those watches and then marked it as destroyed. Because if you look up the serial numbers, they're in use.
iClouds are active and the watches are in use.
Even the 2 sealed ones. They're active. So how is that possible that they destroyed them?
Destroyed the boxes, maybe.
I think there's a bit of a scam going at their hub. That's a one for another day. But there's going to be a class action lawsuit or something in the future. There's too much going on there. They're making too much money. I think they're unstoppable. If a person sends us a PlayStation, we got one customer that keeps sending us old PlayStations. We don't work on them anymore. Don't really like to work on them. There's no money in them. Yet he keeps sending them. We're like, hey, you're getting charged for shipping. It's back and forth, back and forth. Oh, just try and make one. So we tear it down, we reinstall, we tear it down, we reinstall. And he just gets one working one, sends it to us, has us tear it down so he can take his non-working hard drive and throw it into there.
Well, he's the PS3 original, PS2, PS1 backwards compatibility, which as far as I knew, they only ever did PS2 compatibility. So I don't know what he's talking about.
The Fat Boy, the original 4080 gig. Those were the fully compatible 1 through 3, but you had to download the authentication for the PS1 games. Same thing as downloading the PS1 game from the store. If you had the disc, then it authenticated, did a whole thing. But I had that thing from like 2006 to 2000. I want to say like 16. Had it a good 10 years. The customer just never wants to give up on it. I understand you live far from a repair place, but those types of customers are, how do you let them down?
We've tried to let him down. He's refusing. He believes in us. We've told him it's going to cost too much money. We don't do these. We can do it.
I think we've tried to punt it like 4 or 5 times, but it's not even that. It's more like we've tried to tell him or temper his expectations. Hey, we haven't worked on these in quite some time. It's really not our go-to. There's not much money to be made. We'll try part swaps for you, etc. Or anything working on the board on those is just a no-go. They're too delicate. Parts are too hard to find. They're a pain in the ass. Even people that we know that do strictly consoles all day say no. They're like, yep, no money in it. Nobody wants to pay it. Great, bye. Man.
They do the quick little, port swap or whatever, but people don't want to work on the die or the boards or anything like that.
The guy who works on thousands of iPads a month, is I think his whole issue is that he controls a group with like 5,000 people on Facebook, so it gives him a little blood to his head.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like 10 employees in a sweatshop. I understand. Totally fine. But he's like big dick swinging online every time he posts about something. Oh, we couldn't figure this out. Here it goes to my minions, my 5,000 followers on X group or this group. And he throws baby fits when he can't fix something. I'm like, there's every day I get shit. I got, what is it? Somebody brought in air conditioners yesterday.
The little window units.
No, they're humidifier / air conditioners for your desktop. It's for like on top of desks. The window unit thing was a while ago, but these are like portable handheld desktop units that you pour water in.
The it was that as seen on TV ones, or
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And they're retail $30, but he's paying $20 to have them looked at. I looked at him. He spilled water into the buttons. I know he's not going to want to do a $60 board wash.
Mm-mm.
So the problem becomes how do you let that customer know without breaking their heart or making them mad at you?
I mean, regardless of what you're telling them is a fact, due to improper use, they're still going to be disappointed seeing it as a failure as a repair tech versus you poured water over something and not just into the reservoir.
You can always fix something. That's not the problem. The problem is the price in which you give the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Most tend to toe the line, as we spoke about before. But I feel like this one's not going to want to toe the line. He's going to want some type of deal. He brought in two. I told him they could be fixed with a simple crack open, clean the button, so on and so forth. He just seems like that type of person. So I'll be surprised if he doesn't throw a bit of a fit. But I was very clear that, hey, we're just going to try and clean these buttons up. We're going to take a look at it, see if there's any liquid that's overspilled. But if there is, depending on how damaged it is, because he said, I only owned it 2 days and then it just stopped working. This looks like it sat in water for months. Months and months and months. So it makes it real hard to then let them down. So 9:40 and we've received 4 phone calls. So it's not like we're not busy, And then we had that call with Yelp yesterday. We never called back. Oh.
Uh-oh. I think he sent us an email. I
So
remember seeing that on the way out.
if you guys don't know, Yelp is a company that some people pay for advertising. We pay for advertising. It works pretty well. 10 to 15 leads a day, $800 a month. You're paying for leads, not for business. So converting those leads into customers is on you. The problem that I have is the person on the other line that is always trying to get you to up your budget or tailor your budget. They make commissions on any alterations you get as soon as you make them. As long as it's within a call time frame, whatever. If they can push your needle one way or another, they're getting you to spend money. It's a pretty shitty. We've had like 4 or 5 representatives in the last year. Easily 20 representatives since I started business. But I've used Yelp the entire time because originally it was just Yelp and Craigslist. So the Yelp guy gets really offended. I came in from lunch yesterday, with lunch.
He'd already been talking to me for like 15, 20 minutes in which I was telling him, I've been busy lately not looking at analytics and you've handled it and you're on lunch. And he kept trying to get me to...
Can you open the business owner's account? Can you open it? Are you available to open the business owner's account? Should you open the business owner's account, I could give you more info. How about we open the business owner's account and I'll walk you through this. Oh, you haven't opened the business owner's account. Why don't you open the business?
I was working on an iPad and a phone and I told him I can talk to you. My hands are full.
I heard it over your shoulder. All of a sudden I'm at my desk and I'm eating a burger. And I'm like, hey, tell him I'll call him back in like 20, 30 minutes. And he was like, oh, well, Chris is there now. Can I just speak with him? And you're like, you're the gatekeeper, right?
Okay.
You and anyone else here knows I hate talking to people now, especially if I'm in the middle of something. Don't fucking bother me. Not that I'm not great at customer service. When I have to be, I will. But when I'm in my comfort zone, especially if I'm eating, that's my time.
Your eating is a no-no, and under the scope is you'll talk to people.
I will whisper to people, but I will not give you eye contact or any. If I'm busy, if I am, there's certain delicate things in electronics that need my attention while I'm doing it, especially trace work. Fuck. Every time somebody comes over my shoulder while I'm doing trace work, something gets bumped, something gets moved, something gets ignored, and all of a sudden you have to restart. Shimmy up the traces, redo it. Oh, it's a whole other thing. And we get a lot of trace damage lately. I don't know why, exposers, all kinds of shit just popped off traces everywhere, whether it's PCBs on power supplies or the iPhone 12 boards that are just fucking bent. It's really frustrating. Now, the Yelp guy was so persistent. I was like, yeah, like 25 minutes. Here's why I didn't call him back. Because as he's signing off, like, oh, okay, are you sure you can find the time to call me in 25 minutes? I don't want to impose on such an important lunch. Bruh. I was really nice about it. I was like, hey, no, I'm just taking lunch. Give me my space. I will call you back. And he's like, well, we can schedule you for like a month out. It's no big deal. I don't get his attitude. I was trying to be nice. You called me. You're reaching out to me to get a piece of my time. My time is important. I bill for my time. I think the thing we asked him before I had started eating lunch is, how much can you save us? Is there bundles to where we can tone up what we're paying for to where we save on one thing but spend more on another and it evens out? Especially because we're buying a lot of the features.
Yeah.
We spend like almost 900 a month.
Since we
600
added
ads.
all the features, portfolios, boosts, everything you can get on Yelp.
The verified license, the COVID check bullshit. And this guy just couldn't understand it. I'm like, okay, try and save me some money. Like, bundle all this together for $40 when I'm paying $80, and then I can raise my budget by $2, $3 a day and get a couple more leads. I think he wants us just to double our budget. And I'm like, I could double my budget. Are you going to double the leads? Probably not. That's the problem. We've got it to a happy medium right now where we don't need too much more customers. We've been slow. I get that. Everyone in the industry has been slow. But our profit has been pretty consistent. So we're taking in less repairs at a higher price of our profit margin. Or not a higher price, but a higher profit margin.
He did send an email, which I pulled up. And basically, it's a 37 extra dollars a day, 45 and 53 budgets are 3 packages he sent us, which would be 250, 375, 500 a month on top for maybe a 20% increase in ad clicks, because our organic traffic is actually really good. We're not going to see as big of an increase in clicks because people are finding us through our other ads, Google, word of mouth. We have so much other stuff that we got running locally or on other, area-based.
That's my problem with Yelp, though, is because they can't justify any of their math. They are trying to give us what they expect, or here's like your worst case. They've been really good. I hear people bitching all the time about Yelp. It is good investment, in my opinion. You have to wait it out for 3 to 4 months to get that return. But once you start getting the ball rolling, it's a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Google. You're not going to get SEO immediately. Well, yeah, with Yelp, that's just the way it goes. So we'll let people know how that ends up turning out. It looks like we already got, it's 9:50 in the morning, and we already got campers outside. We must be wanted. How many cars? 1, 2, 3, 4.
We obviously need to boost our budget to get people in the door.
Why? So it's hump day. Gary, what day is it?
I'm excited for Wednesdays because everyone's in a bad mood.
You're excited for New World. Don't fuck off. Or don't fuck around.
I was like, so.
You're excited for New World. Don't fuck around.
Not as excited as Andrew.
Andrew's the type who's probably going to call in today because
I
New
got
World.
off at midnight-ish, like 12, 17.
Were you playing with him yesterday?
He's on a different server, so.
Thank God. Don't get too close.
No. But he was on late. I threw a little ASMR sleepy time stream on. Fall asleep with some headphones in. I'll wake up and turn it off, And it was like 3 in the morning and he was still on. So I'm like, ooh. He up late.
He's probably, I don't know how. And this is the thing. He has 2 kids. I don't understand how he has a wife that lets him do those things, and then children that let him do those things.
It's more that how do his kids let him do that?
Well, his kids won't pretty soon. I have tens of thousands of dollars in fun time stuff, and I have no capability of playing with it or using it. I have 2 kids that rely on me daily, every night, every morning, to physically be. I don't know how all of a sudden he's playing games till 3 in the morning like it's nothing.
Even one day.
I don't even know how he's going to keep up with it when his kids get a little older. Ooh. We'll see how it goes. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah. See ya.